Hello and welcome to episode 4 of Mac Minute. This week I have something very special I want to talk to you about. Visiting some family members over the holidays, and they were complaining about how it was running slow, or their Mac was running slow. So there's a couple of things that are different on a Mac. Actually, a lot of things are different as you're finding out. But how it handles when you close applications on a Mac. And this has been this way on the Mac since before OS X, back in the 80s whenever Macintosh was first created. This is still how it's worked. They've never changed this, and it's something that's always been different than Windows, and it confuses people who come from Windows. And let me explain a little bit. You see the desktop right here, and it looks like I'm not running anything. There is nothing open anywhere. All my windows are closed, but if I hold down the Command and the Tab key, you'll see I still have Safari open somewhere. But when I go to Safari, I don't see anything. What you're going to notice is up here in this left-hand corner, right up here, is I'm actually still in Safari, even though there's no windows. So here's what's different. On a Windows machine, there always has to be a window attached to an application. It must have a window. If it doesn't have a window, it will exit. On a Mac, that isn't the case. The application doesn't run inside a window. The application runs natively on the operating system. The application can have windows, which Safari does. So let's say I come in here to Safari and I say New Window. So there's a window that I have. If I click this X, Safari doesn't go away. It's still running. So you see right here, Safari is running. So I go to my family members and I hold this down to see what's open, and this bar is miles long of things that have never been closed. They said they closed them because they thought that they did, because they hit the red button, but the red button doesn't close the application. The way you close an application on a Mac, to permanently close it, there's two ways. I'm going to give you the visual way, which is on this menu, and get out of the way. On this menu, you click Safari, or whatever the application name is right here, and the last option is always quit. That is one way. But you'll see the shortcut is Command Q. And remember from last week, I told you that when you were fast app switching, you could hit Command Q, and that's why Command Q works. So right now I'm on Safari. If I hit Command Q, Safari goes away, it quits. So that's something to remember. Because you're hitting that little red dot of an X, or a little red dot, it doesn't close your program. Some programs do close on that red dot, but the bulk of them do not. The ones that do really aren't following the Mac design guidelines, because it's supposed to stay open and work like that. And along with this, I want to go along with the applications. Let me bring back up Safari. Well, the other thing that's different is you'll notice on the Safari window, there's no menu on here. The menus are always at the top. I failed to mention this in the very first week, so that is something that does frustrate people. They come down here and say, I can't see file or anything, where to go. And you'll notice this bar at the top, which I'm sure by now you've figured out, changes based on the application that you're on. So unlike Windows, where the menu's on top of the window, the menus are always on top, at the very top up here, and based on what program you have running. So that's what I wanted to cover, is let everybody know that just because you're clicking this little red dot does not mean that it's quit. See, Safari's still open. So I can come in here real quickly, Apple Q, Safari's gone. So just something to keep in mind, especially if you start seeing your machine getting slower and slower, because they all use up memory. The more things you got open, the slower the machine's going to go. If you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe. If you're watching this on a podcast service, please make sure you subscribe to get the updates. Visit our page for the show notes and comments. Send us comments. We love the comments. And go check out our other shows as well. We have lots of shows, and we're bringing on new ones all the time. And we really do appreciate the viewer feedback. We'll see you next week.